Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Keith and I'm sure glad you stopped by today. In today's video, I want you to come along with me as we cook up some spare ribs on our Char-Griller charcoal grill using the direct method. Now, direct grilling I know can be kind of intimidating and kind of challenging. So hopefully I'm gonna provide you with some tips and some information and some experiences that I've had to hopefully help you refine and further develop and hone your skills when it comes to direct grilling, especially ribs. If that sounds good to you, let's dive in. Now, while our coals are getting ready, let's go ahead and take this opportunity to rinse our meat off, clean it up, and go ahead and get it seasoned and prepped. Now, one thing I like to do first when I'm cooking my ribs is to remove any extra fat, and I also like to remove the silver skin or the membrane, and especially consider this when you're cooking direct. So let me get into this. When it comes to the fat, I don't want any extra fat on the ribs because that's another fuel source. We're already going to be cooking directly over the coals, and I don't want any extra fat dangling, something that could increase the likelihood of a flare-up. So that's why I do that, in addition to health reasons, right? Trying to eliminate some of that fat. And secondly, I like to peel the membrane off when I'm cooking direct, because I found that if you keep it on and you're cooking with those intense temperatures of direct, sometimes it can be a little tough and a little chewy. So that's why I like to take off that silver skin. And next, I like to add some olive oil. We're gonna season today. We're gonna rub the ribs down with some olive oil, use some Lowry seasoned salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and some black pepper. That olive oil is going to help us get a nice sear and a nice texture on the meat. So that's one of the reasons why I like using olive oil. It's another layer of flavor and also helps the seasonings to adhere to the meat a bit better. I like to go meat side down on my ribs when I'm cooking direct initially, because I'm really trying to get a nice sear during the first portion of the cook. I want to get a nice sear on the meat, get a nice crust, get a nice color. So I'm going grill side down, meat side down. Things are huge, so I'm gonna have to kind of work them in here a little bit. Yep. Inside down. So I've just got the ribs on, got them all situated, and our temperature was showing about 350 degrees. So if we can stay close to that for the cook, the majority of this cook, that's perfect with me. And my fire, man, on this day, I'm just reading my grill at this point. When you're cooking direct, you have to be engaged with your grill. You have to be engaged. That's why I like the challenge of cooking direct. Indirect and smoking, they have their place, and I love those techniques as well. But here lately, I've been really trying to refine my skills when it comes to cooking direct, because you have to be attentive. You can't leave this grill. So right now I'm looking at my grill looking at the amount of smoke it's generating, and I'm listening to it as well. So I don't have to take a peek to see, do I have a flare up. I can hear it, and I don't. This grill's just settling in and cooking, so there's no need to looking, no need to peeking at this point. I'll probably check it in about 10-15 minutes, because remember, we're cooking direct and we want those ribs to have a nice sear on the meat side and the bone side, to try to get that texture, that olive oil, get it to kind of sear that meat up, get our seasonings to kind of crust up a little bit. That's what I want to lock in during the beginning of this cook. So that's what I'm doing right now. I remember early on when I was grilling, man, it's like I would I would have the water right next to me, right? And should I open it? What's going on? And you get kind of paranoid. But over time, you begin to read your specific grill, and you know how it's cooking. A thermometer definitely helps you, but more so than a thermometer is just using your senses to just look at it. Is it cooking hot? Do you see the smoke? Can you hear the sizzle? And that should help you as well. So it's been almost 15 minutes, so let's go in. It's been almost 15 minutes, so let's check our meat out, see what's going on. Oh yeah. Yep, wiping that. Oh yeah. So I mentioned to you, I'm trying to lock in that color. So guys, I mentioned to you, I'm trying to lock in a texture when I'm first off on that meat side down. And here's a view of that texture I'm talking about. You see that? That nice crispiness right there on that. This one here I had overlap, so I repositioned my meat as it's cooked down a bit so I can get them forward across this way, so I can get more of it on the grill. And you see with that direct method, right? It's starting to cook. So 15 minutes is a good time. If you let it go too much longer, right, you could lose it and have some burnt spots. But that's just, man, that's just good texture right there in the rib. So I don't have any problems with that whatsoever. We got it flipped. So let's go ahead and get the grill closed. Hold on, and we'll be right back. So we just went in, 15 minutes in, I just flipped the meat, and perfect. I did redistribute a little bit, and you saw when I put it on before, I kind of put it on there kind of crossways a little bit, but I fixed all that. I put it in to where I could have each slab up and down, so I can get as much surface area out the grill as I can. So I made that adjustment, but they're cooking nicely. Don't have any flare-ups. I got that one slab you saw sitting there. I'm gonna have to come back and flip it here in a minute because I had it overlapped in the beginning, so it wasn't really cooking evenly. So hopefully, since it's where it is, that should help us. Also, I'm noticing that right side, remember those right two slabs, they were cooking a bit faster, so when I go in this time I may do some rearranging. So that's the work that it takes when cooking direct. Flipping your meat, rotating your meat, identifying where your hot zones are, and rotating meat in and out of that so all your meat cooks evenly. But I enjoy that challenge. I'm out here today. It's a beautiful day out here. Just relaxing. Memorial Day weekend, so my family's out outside over here to the right, playing out here, just hanging out. Beautiful weather, man, and just thanking the good Lord that I'm able to live in the country I live in on this Memorial Day. I come from a family of military service, My dad was in the military, uncle was in the military, grandfather's in the military. I worked for the federal government for nearly 16 years, working alongside our warfighters, working alongside the men and women who serve this country without question. And just thinking about the men and women and their families who have made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of this nation that we're so blessed and privileged to call home. So that's where my heart is right now, just reflection mode, and just thinking about those families and those men and women. So to all of you, big salute. Thank you. For those of you continuing to serve, thank you as well. So it's been about 6 minutes since we flipped, and I want to go in here and flip again. I could hear some sizzle, so I was definitely want to be mindful of this guy here. Yep, awesome. Looking good. Checking my backside, it looks good. This looks good. This is my hot zone over here. Today, this is burning a little hot. So I want to do some rearranging right here. What I want to do, take this, move these down. I want to get this one that's over here, move him here. And this one right here. This one right here. So again, flipping and rotating. And we'll do this as needed. I'm looking at now how this grill is cooking. I'll do this every 10, every 15 minutes until this grill starts to settle down and we can leave it on one side without the risk of it burning on us. So that's it with the direct method, right? Keep flipping, keep rotating. Flipping and rotating. There we go. Here lately, I've been really focusing on trying to just sharpen my skills and perfect direct grilling. So I've been trying to grill different cuts of meat, season them up, and then put them on the grill. Because the challenge for me when grilling direct is high risk and it's high reward. The reward is, man, of all the techniques, this is gonna give you the most intense charcoal flavor. When you're able to conquer that grill on that day, man, and get with it and dial it in, and you have a nice steak or a nice chicken wing and rib that's got that charcoal flavor just infused throughout of it, that's the reward you're going for. The risk, you can burn your meat up just like that because you're cooking directly over the charcoal. So the challenge is trying to, again, get with that grill on that day, know what your variables are, and trying to control those variables and dial it in. How did you season your meat? Because the seasoning could impact whether or not it burns quickly. You know, some people want to put brown sugar and do all this thing with sugar, man, but sugar burns quickly. So if you try to do that using the direct method, you increase the chances of burning your meat. How much charcoal do you use? If you use too much charcoal, your grill's gonna burn hot, and that increases the chances of burning your meat. So there are all these variables that you've got to tune in, and a lot of it comes from experience of not getting discouraged, sticking with that grill, and just keep coming back, man. Learn from each grilling session. You should be learning, right? What worked well, what didn't. If it didn't work, I ain't trying that again. Right? I'm not gonna try that again. But as you get it dialed in, and man, once you take that piece of meat off, you cut it up, not only you enjoying it, but being able to serve it to your family. And when they look at you like, yeah, you did that thing. You did that thing. It makes it all worth it. So that's why a lot of my videos here lately have been more on the direct method, because it's challenging. It is challenging. Indirect, that's more laid back grilling for me. Having your meat off to one side, charcoal off to another. Nothing wrong with that technique, but that's more laid back, and smoking is more laid back. But direct that's up close and personal with the grill. You're gonna really have to bring your A game. I was reading some comments, and somebody commented that They were happy to find one of my indirect videos because they've been trying to cook direct, and it was just working them out. And yeah, it is a workout, most definitely. But when you can pull it off, having that charcoal flavor infused throughout that meat is a beautiful thing. All right, y'all. It's been about 30 minutes since we've been on last, so let's go ahead and pop this open. And let's take a look. Oh yeah. Nice crust. Nice crust. I like it. I like that too. I'm liking it, y'all. Your bone side can take a lot more heat than your meat side. So keep that in mind. If you're encountering a lot of intense temperatures, this bone side here can take the heat better than your meat side. So that's what I'm looking at now. I think I want to do a little rearranging. I'm going to put this one down here. Take this right here. Oh yeah. So as these ribs have cooked down, you see we got a little bit more grilling space now. So now we can really spread them out nicely here. So as this grill is settled down a bit, I'm going to simply close it up. Then we'll go another 30 minutes and we'll be back. So I'll let you know a little bit later what our total cook time is going to end up being, but I'm expecting about 2 hours. Using the direct method. Again, back to my phone, I can look back at my past direct grilling sessions. So I can take a look at my phone and look back at the last few times I've cooked direct with ribs, and it took me about a couple hours. So we're gonna let these go for a few more minutes and then we'll check them. We'll be right back. It's been about 10 minutes since I flipped it last, and I noticed that my smoke was doing something a bit differently. It was picking up. So just as a matter of checking, because I'm sitting here trying to read the grill, I just want to have a peek to see what's going on. Yep. So the smoke, I think, was just because of the wind. But I do want to flip these. I do want to put that, want to go back to meat side down for a little bit. There we go. And as I flipped it, y'all, I want to give y'all a view of what I'm talking about when it comes to texture. So here's a close-up now of how those ribs are looking. And that's that texture that I'm going for. Because with that texture, y'all, is a lot of flavor. Think about it. That olive oil, that seasoned salt, that garlic powder, that onion powder, that black pepper. All those seasonings we're putting on there are coming together and they get mixed up with that charcoal flavor. And that's when that explosion just happens. So I just wanted to give you a view of that. So let's go ahead and get this rib closed. Let it steam. So y'all, we're about 1 hour and 15 minutes into this cook. Our ribs are coming along nicely. We're still hitting at about 300 degrees, but I love the color. I love the color of them. I just came through here and just taking the undersides of them. We got them bone side down. That looks good, man. They're not burning. Just getting that nice crust on them. They're not burning at all. Nice color, nice texture. So I think I'm gonna let these go here for probably another 20 to 30 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and do the Texas cheat method. So let me bring you in a bit closer and just show you a close-up of what we're looking like here. So bring you in closer, and this is what we're looking like, y'all. This is about an hour and 15 minutes into the cook. Remember, we rotated and flipped as needed to make sure that we were cooking evenly. And this is how we're looking so far. I'm pleased with that. So let me bring you in and flip and show you how we're looking on this other side. So the bone side, you see that? That's how we're looking on the bone side. That's what I want to see. I'm totally good with that. And this one here, I'm totally good with that as well. Look at our coals down there too, y'all. You see how the coals are kind of calmed down, right? Those Kingsfords are still giving us enough heat, even though they've definitely gone down in size, and you can see they burned down, y'all. They're still putting out heat at 300 degrees, an hour and 15 minutes in. That's why you need to get you some quality charcoal briquettes. Somebody was saying something about their briquettes only lasting like 15 minutes. I was like, man, I don't know what you're using, but you need to get some Kingsfords. And I am not sponsored by Kingsford, but hey, Kingsford, y'all want to work something out, holler at me. Because it just is what it is, y'all. This is a quality charcoal briquette. So if you're having issues with your fire, definitely look into getting you some Kingsfords. Alrighty, we're about an hour and 30, about an hour and 40 minutes into this cook. So now I'm gonna come in and temperature wise, if I temp these, I think we should be right where we need to be. So I'm gonna come in and temp them. Yeah. I think for pork it's 140 and we're above 140. So doneness wise, these ribs are done. However, I like to take an additional step, especially when I'm cooking direct, just as a security measure to make sure they're tender and we get good flavor throughout. So what I'm going to do here is something that's called the Texas cheat method. So for the Texas cheat method, what it is that we're going to get us some foil. And we're going to wrap each one of these ribs in foil. Meat side down, and we're going to let it stay on the grill for about another 20 to 30 minutes just to make sure that we get these tender. What I'm putting on here is some light soy sauce, sodium-free soy sauce. Putting it on here just to add a bit of moisture. So we're going to let these ribs pretty much cook in their own juices. And I'm putting dull side down. I want the dull side down and the shiny side out. Alright, y'all, it's been about 2 hours and these ribs are done. We've just come to the end of this cook. We remember for the last portion of this cook we went with the Texas cheat method. So now we're going to go ahead and take this meat off. This is the benefit too of having long tongs. So just like that. Get all the way up under it. So let's head inside now and let's go ahead and get this meat cut up. Hold on and we'll be right back. Show you why I like the direct method, because if you look at this meat, man, you see that texture, right, that we were going for. You see that, and that nice texture on the side, but look at the inside. Using, see how juicy that is? So that's what the direct method can give you. It's hard to get a crisp and a crunch like this on your skin using smoked and going indirect, so just keep that in mind. Alright y'all, so we're ready for this taste test. See here, we got our ribs, we got some baked beans. Oh yeah, and that's got that ground beef in there, bell peppers, onions, potato salad, coleslaw, and you know we gotta have some white bread to go with it. Barbecue sauce, man, it's hard to beat Sweet Baby Ray's. This is the original Sweet Baby Ray's, so I got my barbecue sauce on the side. So let's go ahead and dig in. Alright y'all, I'm ready to dig in. It's time to get it.
Wait, redo it. I accidentally stepped in the camera.
It's too late. It's too late. I ain't doing nothing. Let's get it, y'all. So yeah, you know I gotta go after these ribs first. Can y'all see that? Alright y'all, I'm gonna put some Sweet Baby Ray's and disappear to the end of the table. Can you pass the Sweet Baby Ray's, man? Thank you.
You don't need it.
So we're not really a big barbecue sauce family like that. I like to taste every now and then. It's almost like I was scarred growing up by going to barbecues with people burning the meat and just putting all this barbecue sauce on top of it just to disguise it. So I like a little thin coat, if anything, on it. And I don't mind even saucing it after the fact. So I'm putting a nice thin strip. Show y'all what I'm working with, just that right there. My wife said I don't even need it. I don't know if y'all heard that, but okay. This is no barbecue sauce, a bite. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, y'all. Oh yeah. I'm talking about an explosion. You can taste that soy sauce beating in the background that we put on there for the Texas cheat. The crust is awesome from the searing that we did. Y'all, come on. Ribs direct method. It's hard to beat. Ribs on the direct method, y'all. It's hard to beat. All right. Gosh, it's delicious. Thank you so much for hanging out with me through this grilling session. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this meal and enjoy time with my family. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, hit that subscribe button and click that bell so anytime we drop a new video, you'll be the first to know. Hit that like button and leave me some comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in any of the products we used in today's video, we'll leave some links down below. Hope you have an awesome day, and thanks for watching.